It is 9/29 Wednesday, and the ES is trading at 4360.5, up 17 points, about 0.4%. Pre-market volume is 293 and change over the average of 271. So we still have elevated volume, which means we could have range expansion. The overnight range, though, is a little compressed compared to the past couple days at 33.50. Looking over at the VIX. So the VIX has come in just a little bit. It's down 0.53, down 1.98, call it 2% at 22.79, but still elevated compared to where we've been. Now, looking at the market overall, we've got an outside bar on the monthly closing down. That's not good for bulls, or in other words, that's bearish. On the weekly, we're within last week's range still. So the question is whether we stay inside on this week or we break even lower. We are coming into some, on the weekly chart, ATR support, and then on the daily, everything's in a downtrend right now. We had I'd call it a short squeeze. Went into 3 days of balance, 2 inside days, and we broke heavily to the downside on the news of the bond market reflecting higher interest rates. And nothing has changed. So there's still this idea of, well, are we going to stay within this week's range, which the low is here, the high is up here, stay in last week's range, I'm trying to say. Or are we going to break through and start some new trends lower on the weekly? Let's see. We still have this very large gap. So the upside targets as we open in yesterday's range could be an expansion higher or an expansion lower. We'll look at that more closely in 1 second. Taking a look at yesterday, you can see we stopped at last week's Tuesday low, which is just above this low volume node. That's often where price will reject when it's not ready to fill out this volume. And overnight action, sorry about that noise. Overnight action, the low is here, right above the value area low, and the high is at A's low from yesterday, which is where the singles fill. So this area from L's high to A's low is important and can be targets on the day. And looking at the overnight action, we can see from yesterday, the market gapped down heavily, basically traded lower all day until we found support, and now has traded back up to those single prints, A's low, and has rejected there and is now trending back lower. So we're under the ATR stop. I'm considering the trend overnight and into this morning as a downtrend. This could be just a little bit of a short squeeze, some inventory adjustment. The market is short, so we'll have to see how that plays out. And the context for the opening would be a drive down to the overnight low, possible rejection there or acceptance. We're close to the 24-hour VWAP, so maybe a move to it, go test the single prints, L's high. If we get acceptance and move up, then we go test the overnight high, or we reject and come back down. And because we're 2 days from the quarter end and there's some Fed speech today, I'm thinking today may be enhanced chop rather than monumental trend extension like we had yesterday. Although it's possible you could have 2 days of trend. I don't know how likely that is. And then here on a shorter time frame, I would take this ATR break possibly to go test VWAP and then go see if we want to test L's high from yesterday. At the same time, if we come into VWAP, then break lower, I'll take it to go trade toward the overnight low. And that's the market context for the morning. Okay, market is open very choppy. We've got an ATR break near the bottom of the 1 minute opening range. I'm seriously considering taking that for a move toward the overnight low, but trying to go for 4 points. So we'll just see what happens here in the next minute or so. Okay, it's breaking now. So I'm gonna go ahead and, well, actually I'm gonna give it a chance to close. I don't wanna just jump into it. Let me give it a chance to close, because if it's super choppy, they could buy it here. Bottom of the opening range on the 1 minute. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take this here. So the entry is 52. Again, going for 4 points on this, down to 48, which is above the overnight low. Let me see where the right stop needs to be. So initially the stop needs to be around 57. So that's where I'm gonna put it. That'll at least make me think about it if they start ramping it up. And that appears to be what they're doing. But I'm gonna give, oh, no, this is a major issue that you have to deal with. If your signal reverses like mine has here, you're at significant risk. And I tend to just close these, because when the signal reverses, it's not a really good signal anymore. That's why I try to give these ATRs a minute to close. And we'll see if we get some continuation. Now, I do also note that we've got a break on the 5 minute bar, which was lower. All right, so we're gonna give this a minute. I'm gonna trail this stop down. Time that I entered was about 9:36. All right, so first test of the red line. We really don't have an ATR break. So I'm in this trade naked is how I feel. But I'm gonna keep it in play for now. Or I'm gonna get stopped out right here. And or closes if I don't like the price action. Trend is down. So I'm not, you know, that's how it goes. See how it plays out. All right, so that was a pretty good break there. See if we get continuation. So I may trail this stop even more aggressively with that break. Stop would be around 56 now. You see this a lot of contract volume at a high volume node at 43.50. So since this price action stinks, look at this. I don't like the price action at all. All right, I'm going to trail this stop very aggressively. I got the stop at plus 0.25 now. Here, I'll show you. Let's see if they defend the high volume node. I mean, I'm happy just to make some money on this trade because of that failed ATR break. 37 bucks is gonna be okay, and then we'll see how the rest of the day plays out. They are defending that high volume node. Could give it a little more room, not sure yet. So 52 is my, 51.75 is my stop. High of this bar is 51.50. If they're gonna take it, it may just go right here. No, they're pushing it back up. Right up to the high of that bar. Okay, and I'm out.
Stop filled.
It may keep going lower, but I'm going to revisit this trade in a few minutes. All right, so A period is closing above the open, above August's low as well, which is interesting to me. Time is 9:59. Going to give this a minute, see what kind of direction we want to take. We front ran the overnight low, so my thought is we possibly take out L's high and then fill the singles, test the overnight high. So let's wait for B period to open. I think I'll pause it just for a minute. Well, I might enter it right here. All right, so B period opens. Looks like they're going for it right away. We'll go ahead and enter here.
Filled.
All right, so my entry is
Order filled.
43.69.50. My trade management moved one of my targets. Oh, okay, that was super fast. Whoops. Okay, so this is now really moving. All right, my 10-point target is overnight high. I don't know that we'll go right up and get it, but going to be optimistic. I'll put it just a little bit before the overnight high. And that is right before where the singles fill at 77.75, right there. Actually, I'm going to put it a bit in front of that too, if the software will let me.
Stop filled. Stop
Oh, okay. Well, it came back and got my stop. That's fine. So $600 on that trade. I'll take it. We'll review for possible overnight high for a trade to take out the overnight high in a little bit. Just to express how volatile this market is, the range on these 1 minute bars is 7 to 9.75 points, which is often what the ES market sees in the entire first hour of trading. And we just did that up and then back down in 2 minutes. So that is the market we're dealing with here. And it is not easy to trade. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna wait for, but maybe just later to see if we're gonna bounce here for a little bit and then go try to take out the overnight high, or if we're gonna break the ATR, fake out everyone, come all the way back down to take out the overnight lows. So gonna give the market some time here. So I took one more trade at lunchtime at 12:30, which is called an ATR deflection or ATR bounce trade. It's a fade trade. And I got short at around 54.75 and sold it for some money in this range. Was hoping we'd go get the overnight low, but it didn't happen. So I'm done for the day. This market is just pure chop. And I'm up $679.20, so I am happy with that. And the reason I took that trade is because it has a 70% win rate with a maximum adverse excursion of 2 points and a 2.0 profit factor based on the last 98 times I've taken it. So again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and please like and subscribe.